This is it. That's the new Honor 9. And I managed to get at least 2 or 3 available color versions in front of the camera here. On the right, that's the blue one. On the left, that's called gray, but I would call it silver because it's really almost like a mirror. And there would be a black one also shiny like these ones here. But they have only 2 devices for several hundred journalists here in Berlin on the launch event. So I couldn't manage to get this one also for the camera. But I guess you can imagine how black looks like. So if you remember last year's Honor 8, you may remind that I really love the blue version and that light effects, and you might have the idea that you would say, okay, it's always the same like last year from the design. Well, sort of. Let me compare you the Honor 9 with the Honor 8 on the left side, also the blue version here. And you will see it's the same idea, the same reflections, yes, but it's a little bit more now, a little bit more enhanced reflections, a little bit brighter, and it's again done by 15 layers of glass, different glass manufactured, all molded together on the backside here. What's also new is I'm trying to show you here, it's a little bit improvised always on these launch events. On top, you see the curved edge, at least I hope so, on the backside of the new Honor 9 here, always almost looking like a Samsung Galaxy S8 or S8 Plus. Compare that to the flat backside of the Honor 8 below. I hope you can see that way. On the front, it's still flat like it always has been. Now on top, the Honor 8 here flat, and below the Honor 9. I hope you can see this sharp and good lighting conditions so that you can imagine what I'm talking of. It's a little bit complicated here, but I guess you got the point. So with that, it's a little bit now on the backside, a little bit more, better haptics like the predecessor, a bit one, but it's the same idea. To make it short, I have a good and a bad news for you. The bad news is it's not a new phone, because the Honor 9 is kind of a Huawei P10. Exact same specifications with some slight differences, just with a glass backside instead of that aluminum unibody from the P10. The good news is it's cheaper, because at least here in Germany and Europe we have prices from the P10 recommended retail prices of 599 euros, and here the Honor 9 starts with 449, so cheaper. On the other hand, the P10 has now already been reduced, available starting roundabout at 469 euro. Like always, including 19% tax without any contract, and here it's 449 from the start. And the prices by Honor are a little bit more stable than Huawei, so we have to see almost the same price, a bit cheaper. So you have to decide by your taste if you like that glass backside or if you prefer a Honor the Huawei P10 with that aluminum unibody. So in that case, you will buy the Honor 9. Be aware of that glass front backside, so need a cover, some protection cover, because this one is drops, like I always telling you, with these phones with a glass backside and glass front side, that's not the best idea. So you have, if this one is dropping, you probably will have a glass breakage, so be aware of that one. Yeah, like I told you, it's a kind of a P10 because it's always almost the same specifications. I found only little differences. One is, yeah, well, you do not have the Leica brand on the backside on that dual camera here, but that's exactly the same. You have one is a 12 megapixel sensor colored RGB, and the other one is a 20 megapixel sensor monochrome, black and white, like on the P10, combining together. And we have seen on other phones without the Leica brand, that doesn't matter at all. The picture quality doesn't get worse just because the Leica brand isn't there. So, and you have the very same display. It's 5.1 inch, a little bit smaller than the Honor 8, that was 5.15, forget about that. We have still full HD resolution here, 1080 by 1920 pixels. We have 8 megapixels on the front. You have on the front, by the way, full HD, on the back side Ultra HD 4K video recording, and especially you have again the same Kirin 960 processor. Very powerful, you find in the P10, so you will also have that really huge horsepower here on the Honor 9. All right, you have LTE or 4G with only 300 instead of 600 megabits per second. Forget about that. So yeah, and well, this one is a little bit different here with a fingerprint sensor. Let me show you that way. I hope it's working. That's now a little bit different because that's ceramic. And on the P10, you might remember that was a complete front glass here, covered including that fingerprint sensor here. And the problem was, in order to get this running, they had to reduce a little bit the oleophobic layer here, avoiding a bit or trying to avoid the fingerprints on the P10. So that was a little bit more covered with fingerprints, but nevertheless, I also see fingerprints here. So, but I wanted to tell you. Then you have 4 GB of internal of working memory and 64 GB internal memory. You can expand here on the side. Like always, you have the choice, you have that hybrid slot. So you can choose between the second nano SIM or 1 nano SIM and 1 micro SD card. And this basic version with Android 7 and Emotion UI 5.1, you see, including that, if you want to hear that menu, that app launcher again, costing 449 euro. So remind, P10 dropped down to 469. This one is starting at 449 euro. So you really can choose or decide by the design. Do you love the glass backside more, or would you prefer that aluminum unibody of the P10? But here is a second version announced, and that's a big one with 6 GB working memory and 128 GB internal memory. But don't ask me for the price because Honor didn't say anything, and especially nothing about availability of the big one. The small one, the basic version you see here, that's available from today on, so you can now order if you want to. Yeah, I hope this was okay for you for a quick first impression here from the launch event of the Honor 9 in Berlin. Thanks for watching, and please be so kind to rate this video. Maybe you even leave a sub and your opinion in the comments. Thanks for that in advance. Take care and bye. Oh, and by the way, I already forgot something. I wanted to tell you about the battery, because this one again is embedded, but it's now 3200 instead of 3000 like on the predecessor. So a bit more, but we have to see, like always, with the final device in the test, in the runtime test, how the runtime is doing. Yeah, and by the way, I just seeing here arriving the black version. Look at this. Finally, we've got it. So that's a perfect end picture here with all 3 color versions. And to see again these reflections here. Thanks to Honor to making this available here, having the black version also. So these are the 3 color versions you can get. Yeah, that's it really finally now. Thanks for watching again. Take care. Bye.